All right, so we are now stage 3.
nsdrc.
Turn whenever you want to.
Yep. They say that this is the servo to go to. So today, we're going to swap this servo on. But later on, probably in a week or less, well, maybe a little longer, the goal will be to put this servo on axle mount and move this on the axle and put the 4-link on. But for today, we're just gonna put it in the normal spot. There's the stock servo. So right now, we're pulling off that drag link there. If you like these type of videos, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know. We have a bunch of other rigs that we're doing stuff to here and there. And I'll probably show those. Well, you can look at our other videos and see some of them. But, you know, there's other stuff. We do some basher stuff and crawling. So, drag link is off. Right now, we're gonna pull the servo. No batteries connected. So that's the screw that came off. There's another one right there. This is the part where we cut the video to the servo being installed already and say, did you get that? No, there's 2 more back there. Let's see if I can show you. There you go. We're gonna pull both of those. Now, if I remember right, our receiver is, I think, in here.
Yep.
But we'll see. Okay, so he's going to the back, pulling this cover off here. Looks like there's another one there. And then one here on the front side that will need to come off. And I'm not sure if there's another. Nope, looks like that's all of them. So 4 on the servo.
4 on the servo, 3 on there.
3 on that cover.
It's worth mentioning. The longer of the 3
Is the front.
goes to the front.
Okay, good to know. If you don't pay attention to that and then you get them all pulled out, that's something you can reference.
Out comes the servo. All these wires in here. The lights.
Yep, so
Slide that stuff out.
pull them right out of that notch there.
And
That just provides a good seal.
there we go.
And now we're unplugging the servo. I'm gonna unplug that.
And black to the passenger side. The servo's out. So before we put the other one in
Just to show you
completely
up close.
and swap the arm, we just want to make sure that everything fits into the stock mounts.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. And some rumors that it might not. We're about to find out.
So this is what I thought maybe needed to be changed out. That right there. I don't remember why, but I thought I read something about that.
That would be true.
Okay. So,
It will not.
Slightly different size. The mounts are. Well, the servo itself. So I'm pretty sure we're supposed to change that out. Now I think,
Which we don't have one.
well, I think it might have came with the SCX6, maybe? let's go see.
Okay, we were just trying to put the servo in, and as you can see, the new servo is wider. So when you go to put it in, these are your front holes, these are your back holes. It doesn't line up, right? It's too long.
Those back ones don't.
So the cool part is Axial actually expects you to do this. So they send you an updated mount so you can actually put in a better servo. So let's do that.
So we're gonna pull those back 2 screws off to remove that mount and install the new one. Super cool. Super cool that they provide that.
Yeah, because otherwise we would have had to buy a mount. And we weren't going to buy one because we're putting servo and axle here soon, so. But we want to see exactly how awesome it's going to be to actually steer.
Yeah.
When you want to. Okay?
So did that just pop right out? Is it? Yep, look. So on the back side, it just slides right off of there. Off of those pins there.
And there's a new one.
Same thing there. Okay. Oh, we can compare those.
You can see the difference.
Yep.
And the legs, the deeper part goes to the back.
Yep.
Just slide that over top. Like so.
Push right down in there.
And back we go. Oh, oh. Donating hardware.
Goes right on there.
Find the other one.
That goes right on there.
And you notice I just kind of bumped the throttle because that little gun has a lot of power and has no problem taking threads out of plastic, so you gotta be a little careful. Okay, new mount is in. Before we put the arm on, we're gonna double check just to make certain. And okay, we're hitting in the front here. I'm guessing this little lip right here has got to go. Yep, because, look again.
It's quite a bit deeper.
It's pretty shallow right there
Yeah.
versus that one.
Oh yeah, and I remember watching a video where someone installed these and they put some washers here or something
And we're not doing that.
to move that servo up to avoid that. So we're probably gonna grind that piece out right there.
When in doubt, go to your neighborhood Lowe's, get a cordless Dremel, a little drum. We're gonna make some noise.
Now, we're not gonna record this part because it's gonna be really, really annoying when you're at home watching this. So I'm gonna skip this part, but that's what we're doing is that right there.
So while the Dremel's charging,
We got about not very far.
so I went to pull the servo arm and I literally put the bit in and with my fingers and it was loose. So if you have an SCX6 and you haven't lost your servo arm or bolt yet, I strongly suggest you go put some thread lock on that screw before you lose it.
Yeah, we've only taken this one out twice. So not very much.
Okay. See all your shock holes? Okay, so there was a little ledge in here. Right there.
Yep.
I had to take the Dremel and grind that out because the new servo is a lot deeper right here. So we've done that. And now,
Yeah, I think this servo actually rests on that ledge, but that one doesn't.
it fits down in there. You don't need to do any washers, any hardware. It fits like it's supposed to.
Yep.
So now that we got that done, we can go ahead and power this up because we need to put a servo arm on it.
Before we do that, it's worth mentioning that we're grinding this and leaving this whole mount for the servo because we're going to do servo on axle mount, and this is aluminum and way stronger. But if you don't plan on doing servo on axle and 4-link, you want to upgrade this. They make an aluminum servo mount, and then you'll also want to upgrade those shock towers in there, just because they have a lot of flex. We've already upgraded the steering knuckles, but yeah, you would want to upgrade that because I'm guessing this servo will destroy stuff.
Yeah, because that bracket that goes in there, the replacement is an aluminum one instead of plastic, and then it bolts into the chassis or the frame. So we're only doing this right now because we want to.
Yeah.
And we are putting it on servo and axle here in the next week or so. So
yeah, it'll probably only get 1, maybe 2 run times with this servo up here in the original position before it gets swapped. But if we break it, we'll let you know.
All right, so I went ahead and connected the
Oh,
receiver wire to the receiver.
Right there where the old one was
And
removed.
this is a direct power servo. So we're not going to solder it in right now. We bought this adapter with the servo.
Yep.
So
From nsdrc as well.
So you just plug that into the battery lead. We're going to plug our battery in so that we can find center on the servo. So we'll just set this to the side for now. And then we'll take our red lead, or JST. Always get those backwards. We'll plug that in. Okay, so we're going to power up the controller. I'll turn on the car. Car is on. Servo should be centered. And go ahead and flick the wheel on it. Okay, so we're centered. So now we'll put this dead center. We'll have to do a little bit of trim because it's slightly off center.
Can you move it 1 tooth over?
No, because it's pretty coarse spline.
Yep.
And then,
Yep, it's going to be slightly off, at least on this one, either direction. So we'll need a little bit of trim, but that's pretty close. And this is the stock servo horn. It's the same tooth. nsdrc does make an upgraded one, and I think we're going to order it, but for today, the stock one does fit. The one that they say is for the SCX6 was not in stock when we ordered this.
so slight bit of blue Loctite so that we don't have this fall off like it was about to on the stock one. And especially now that you have way more power, we don't want to be losing hardware. So we'll just use the driver here. Just a little. There we go.
I think we can shut this
And
off.
we'll power this off. Disconnect everything because we're going to have to tidy it all up. Go ahead and shove this down in there. Okay, we're in. So now we'll put all our hardware back. All right, little washers on those screws. I don't know if you can see them or not, but
Yep.
you're going to want to use those. Make sure you use those when you put it back so that keeps a good hold on that servo. And again, like you said earlier, this is not going to stay this way. If you were to leave it this way, strongly recommend you put the servo tray in, the aluminum one, so that you have strength, because whether it be this servo or the Power Hobby servo, I think it's called. They're both direct power. It probably would break that tray in time. So
I'm gonna put those back two in right there.
one more to go. And then we can tidy up this wiring a little bit. Tuck that wire into the receiver box. And put the box back on. Check out this awesome steering. Almost there.
We also have that SCX6, which is all stock currently, but we got something coming for that one. What do you got on the way?
Oh, time will tell.
It's a secret. Okay, so
By the way,
wires.
when you go to do these, I just use a needle nose. You can grab this rubber right here and pull it up out. Just pull it up like so.
Don't need to pull it all the way out.
Then you can tuck those wires in and then push it back down in. That's the seal. Makes it a whole lot easier getting those wires in there. And get this power lead out of the way. I'm probably gonna pull that back out so I can tuck a bunch of that power lead or receiver lead.
That's what he's talking about. Pull that out a bit, but you don't need to pull it all the way out.
I'll get that in there. Push it down in and just kind of wad that up down in like so.
There we
It's
go.
all tidy.
The majority of that wire ends up staying in there.
Push this around. I put a little too much in there. Okay. Get this around the box here. Maybe a little bit more slack. There we go. Okay. Here's a screwdriver. I don't want that wire getting pinched. So we're gonna try and feed it down in there. Kind of pry that receiver box.
There we go.
There we go. And that's not tight because you can see I'm moving it there. So it's not going to get pinched. Okay. So that's all put away. Now we put our motor cover back on.
And remember, long screw goes in the front. And then there's two short ones in the rear. That's the front, and then those two are the rear.
Right.
Do these have those washers on them too? Doesn't look like.
Nope.
I haven't looked into it, but they have a servo back here for the 2-speed. I wonder if anyone ever has to upgrade those or if they stay intact and working well. So far, no issues with it. Just curious.
Yeah, I think Reefs, most companies make a micro servo, which is what I think that would be. I guess I'm not 100%. Like, quite frankly, could be a standard 10th scale servo. Okay, let's
those
load
are
this
in.
up.
that front one's in. I'm just gonna tighten them.
And we're not going to worry too much on this power lead wire, just because this is only going to be short time. We put it on the axle, so for now we're just going to tidy it up and make sure everything's okay. Okay, so now we need to put the tie rod back on. We'll get that screw. Ooh. Just need a little dab. A little dab will do. All right. And get it lined up. You can just grab your wheels and turn your wheel to get your tie rod lined up.
That's
and
just
then just
pulling that.
screw it in with your
Servo
fingers
horn.
till you get it close. Then you can use the wrench to finish it. Kind of lift up the rig to give me a little bit of clearance here. Sorry about the fingers there. Gotta hold the bit because it's not ratchet wants to turn it. So there we go. Give it hold the servo arm and give it a little extra. Okay. Alrighty, we have nsdrc servo N rig on center. Like I said, we'll tidy this up later because it's not going to be here very long. Go ahead and turn the transmitter on.
The turbulator.
Power.
The turbulator.
And turn the car on. So then, all right, truck's on. Pull that tire out.
I don't know if it'll have an issue or kick everything around with this. But yeah, we might want to get it off that so we don't. Let's go ahead and put it on the table over here on the ground where it's not going to push this whole carpet around and knock everything down. Oh yeah, headlights came unplugged earlier. I was wondering, like, it looks a little dark. There we go. That's better. So this is what the upgraded servo. It's also worth mentioning that this is on 3S, but I do believe that it goes to 4S as well.
Yes.
It'll do, here's the specs on it. You guys want to pause it and look at that. So 2,175 at 12.6 volts and 2650 at 16.8. So this is on 3S, which is, I think, closer to that 12.6. So there's still quite a bit left there as well. Super cool. Make sure you set your endpoints.